Live, local, late breaking. This is Channel 11 News on Fox 53.
New at 10, a gunman robs a local store, and tonight we have learned this isn't the first time it's been hit. Good evening, I'm Gordon Lesh, the owner of the smoker-friendly store in Robertson Township, talked with us tonight about her business being targeted. Channel 11's Dave Bondi is live in Robertson Township with details on what happened tonight. Dave?
Gordon, when we heard the call go out on the police scanner, we immediately came out here to the scene. Now, police had a canine out here tracking the suspect, but no luck, they couldn't find him. Now, we talked to the store manager. She's furious, but she's confident police will make an arrest. Two workers were inside the smoker-friendly store a few minutes after it closed at 5 o'clock when a man came in with a handgun and got away with 2 cartons of cigarettes. Store manager Tammy Shook is thankful no one was hurt.
I was actually at home. My employee called me about 5 minutes after closing time, let me know she was robbed.
Police say this is the second time this year that a man with a similar description robbed the store. Back in late May, a man robbed the place using a knife, forcing a worker into the humidor, getting away with $3,700. Shook is furious.
That someone feels that they can just come in and with a gun and walk out with the store's money and take their good old time doing it. So I'm angry at a lot of things right now, but this too shall pass. Police say in Sunday's incident, the robber was wearing a black ski mask. He ran out of the store. A police canine was brought in and lost the trail behind the store. Investigators are not ruling out the possibility that this could have been an inside job. Shook believes an arrest will be made. Sure, it upsets me, but I feel really confident we're going to get the person this time. So other than that, it's under police investigation. Now, no arrest was made in that robbery back in May. Now, this happening off of Steubenville Pike. It's a very busy road, and police are asking if you were driving by and you saw anything, please give them a call. We're live in Robinson Township. Dave Bondi, Channel 11 News on Fox 53.
Part of the area was under a severe thunderstorm watch, but now it's looking like a rather quiet night. Meteorologist Kevin Benson tracking it all here in Severe Weather Center 11.
Yeah, that's right. All advisories have been taken down now. We're going to get to Storm Tracker Doppler 11 radar and show you that the heaviest weather went by just south of Pittsburgh, down toward Morgantown, Parkersburg, and Clarksburg. You can see the heavy storms that went across from Zanesville on a line down toward Morgantown. And the heaviest weather, as I mentioned, right here from, say, Morgantown to Clarksburg to Parkersburg. Just look at how heavy that weather was. I mean, there were some heavy downpours there. So here's what we're dealing with. A few showers and a storm possible. And it's going to continue to be warm and muggy here into the first part of the week. We'll be back to talk about timing on these storms and also when we're going to get a break in the humidity. That's coming up just ahead, and my extended forecast looks all the way through next weekend. Stay with us for complete weather details coming right up.
Hundreds of local Verizon workers joined thousands across the country to take to the picket lines. Workers went on strike in Robinson Township and downtown, and tonight Verizon is telling customers that service won't be affected. At midnight, 45,000 Verizon workers went on strike. The union claims the company is asking for cuts when it's making record profits. Verizon says its management is well trained to assist customers during the strike. The union accuses the company of wanting to go back to pay levels and benefits of the 1960s, and workers say those changes will hit them hard.
They want to take money off of these people weekly and make them go on commission, which will not be good for the customer. They want them to pay for their health care. They have no shame. They get it all, and they want to take it off of the backs of the people that are actually bringing the money to this company.
Verizon spokesperson Mark Reed released a statement that said, in part, we will continue to do our part to reach a new contract that reflects today's economic realities in our wireless business and addresses the needs of all parties. It's also our intent that under a new contract, Verizon employees will continue to receive competitive pay and benefit programs. 8 people are dead and 2 others wounded following a shooting rampage outside of Akron, Ohio. And new tonight, police say there are 4 crime scenes. Police say a domestic dispute may have sent the gunman on the shooting spree in a residential neighborhood this morning. The gunman shot people outside of a home and inside a car before police shot and killed him. A neighbor described the frightening scene.
And a woman was at my porch, hiding on my porch, and I went out and opened the door. She ran in the house and told me that somebody had shot her husband point blank in the head. Said there were a lot of people shot, and then she started screaming, my son, my son. My 11-year-old son, he went the opposite direction she went.
Officials have not released the identity of the victims or the gunman. They plan to hold a news conference tomorrow. New details now. Flames raging in apartments above businesses and a rush to rescue the people inside. You saw this story first on Channel 11 Morning News. A huge fire in Katanning. Brandon Hudson was on North McKean Street this morning. He talked to people who were inside and who rushed to help others get to safety.
Seconds after we talked to a witness, we saw a fireman looking for this cat's owner. He gave the pet to the owner's friend. That's when we met Ray Finger, who smelled smoke when he woke up around 7 this morning.
And I got up and I walked, looked in the kitchen, nobody's cooking. I went back to the back bedroom, and that's when I seen all the smoke rolling out.
Ray was staying on the second floor where the fire started and did the most damage. Witnesses say what started out as a little smoke quickly turned into flames.
And we started throwing buckets of water on it, and it wouldn't go out. So I went around and tried to get everybody out of the building and called 911.
Firefighters got there minutes later. A witness took this picture of them trying to get inside the building. One fireman prepares to break down the front door while another stands ready to douse the flames. The chief says all but one of the 10 people ran outside to safety. Firemen had to save the woman trapped inside. That's her in the purple shirt. As she's walking out, flames roared through a second-floor window. From another angle, you see the fire covered 2/3 of the building.
There's a lot of flames coming out the window, and people were grabbing their video game systems and taking off.
After the fire was out, firefighters needed to cool down from the humid weather. We learned flames gutted the apartment where it started. The other floors suffered smoke and water damage. No one was seriously hurt. We're pretty much a hero today.
No, I wouldn't say that, but you know, I just had to do what I had to do to get everybody out so nobody got hurt.
Investigators are trying to find out how the fire started. Brandon Hudson, Channel 11 News.
We're working to learn the name of the man killed in a morning crash in Pittsburgh's Asplin neighborhood. That accident happened on West Carson Street near Edgecliff Street just after 6 this morning. You can see the black SUV crashed into a utility pole. Another person was taken to the hospital. That section of West Carson had to be closed while crews investigated. Another man is killed in a crash in Lincoln Borough. The medical examiner identified the victim as 29-year-old Ashlyn Moore of McKeesport. Police say the car hit a pole, then burst into flames around 3 this morning on Lincoln Boulevard. Another person was hurt and flown to the hospital. No word on that person's condition. The U.S. suffers a major blow to its credit rating. Coming up tonight, the White House fires back at Standard & Poor's for the unprecedented downgrade. New details on the mission leading to the single deadliest incident in the war in Afghanistan. Plus, boaters rescued at a local dam. Coming up next.
Channel 11 News continues in high definition with Gordon Lesh, Kevin Benson, and Bill Phillips. News coverage you can count on.
5 boaters are pulled from the water after their boat went over a dam. It happened just after 10:30 last night at the Highland Park Dam. An official with the PA Fish and Boat Commission says the boaters may have mistaken the dam for a wave. The officer also says it's important that boaters pay attention to buoy lines and posted signs.
And as I try to explain to the people who are operating the boat, not only are they putting their lives at risk, but they're putting in all these people you see going behind me, they're putting their lives at risk too.
None of the boaters were hurt. The Fish and Boat Commission is investigating. One person is dead and 2 others are injured after a violent crash in Indiana County. It happened just after 8:30 last night on Route 286 in Conemaugh Township. Police say 45-year-old Gerald Halden tried to pass a Corvette but hit a Hyundai Elantra going in the opposite direction head-on. The driver of the Elantra suffered serious injuries. A passenger suffered minor injuries. Police are still trying to talk to the driver of the Corvette. We now know the name of the man killed in a house fire in Sheridan. The medical examiner identified the victim as 38-year-old Vincent Kalura III. The fire broke out around 12:30 yesterday afternoon on Pritchard Street. An autopsy was scheduled for today. The family of the Erie pizza delivery driver who was killed after being forced to rob a bank says they're not happy with the writers of a movie that's opening this week. Brian Wells died 8 years ago when a collar bomb he was forced to wear exploded. The new movie, 30 Minutes or Less, focuses on a pizza driver forced to rob a bank while wearing a time bomb vest. The family says the movie isn't funny, whether or not it focuses on Wells' death. Sony says the writers were only vaguely familiar with the Erie case. A local restaurant starts a national trend, but is it bad for business? Still ahead. Target 11 consumer investigator Robin Taylor returns to that restaurant to find out. And the deadliest day for U.S. combat in Afghanistan. A reaction pouring in from around the world. Next.
Heavy weather this evening tracked by just south of Pittsburgh. There could be a few more rumbles of thunder overnight and toward morning. And we'll talk about that and also when we're going to get a break in this humidity. My extended forecast looks all the way through next weekend. That's coming up here on the 10 o'clock news on Fox 53.